Remember, we listed 3 types of collections: arrays, dictionaries, and sets. Arrays, you already know. Dictionaries are next in line. As you may guess, they're a subject of this chapter. Sets are also very useful and important, however less common, and we will not be covering them in this course. So, let's refer back to our solution using arrays. We've got 3 elements that we can access using indices. 0 for coffee, 1 for desserts. It works just fine, except we need to remember 2 things: what category each element refers to, and the order we originally arranged them in. And say, to increase the numbers for dessert, we need to remember to use index 1, which is very easy to mistype or simply forget, and say use 2 instead, which will increase the numbers for food, producing false results for Jenny. Luckily, dictionaries come to a rescue. Dictionary is a list of elements organized by a key, which means that each element in the dictionary is associated with a key instead of a number that I happen to follow in a general order of a list. This is called key-value association. And of course, all the keys in the dictionary must be unique. We can use various types as a key in a dictionary. One of the common ones to use is a string, which is very handy for our example. We can replace 0 with coffee, 1 with desserts, and 2 with food. To declare dictionaries, we also use square brackets. But in addition to the type of the elements we're going to use, we need to provide the type of the keys we are going to use. Okay, let's take advantage of this new collection type and see how we can improve our code.
Now let's learn how to use dictionaries in code. To declare dictionary, we also use square brackets and list all the elements in between. Each element of a dictionary is a composition of 2 parts, its key and its value. Let's create a dictionary variable that will contain a list of friends and their ages. In this example, the keys of our array are names of friends, and the values are their ages. A dictionary element is associated with 2 types, a type of a key and a type of a value. In our example, the keys are strings and the values are integers. All the keys in the dictionary must be unique. And if we're using strings, they're also case sensitive. For example, if we add another Jenny and assign a different value to it, when we try to access it, the first Jenny element contains 34, and the last one we added in lowercase has 31. So all the keys of a dictionary must be of the same type, as well as all the values must be of the same type. Let's go over a few examples. The first array is perfectly fine. We have strings as keys, and we have integers as values. In the second example, we added a string value instead of an integer, and we get an error right away. The last one is also confusing because we tried to use an integer as a key instead of a string. We can use different data types as dictionary keys and dictionaries values. They can be same or can be different. In our example of professions, both of our keys and values are of string type. And the truth dictionary has keys as Boolean and strings as values. Just like in case of arrays, we can declare dictionaries by explicitly specifying its type. This time we need to specify 2 types, the type of the key and the type of a value. There is a short version to declare it by providing those types in square brackets, and the long version, which is unnecessary and very rarely used. And of course, we can also declare a dictionary by assigning a value to it. A non-empty array, or by assigning a non-empty array and explicitly stating the type of the elements. And lastly, we can declare a dictionary by assigning a default value of its type, or by specifying its type and assigning an empty dictionary to it. Let's remove all those variations and leave one. To access an element of a dictionary, we simply need to type a name of a dictionary and specify a key we're interested in square brackets. Let's try to print it. And we're getting 5 as a result. We can also modify individual elements of a dictionary. To add a new element to a dictionary, we simply need to address an element with a new key. And to remove an existing element, we can use a remove value function and specify a key of the element we want to remove. Just like arrays, we can count the elements of our dictionary using property count. And to browse a dictionary or walk its elements, we can also use the for-in loop. As you can see, working with dictionaries is very similar to working with arrays. Now it's time to practice on your own. Pause this video and try to complete this task. Well done! Here are my results. Let's review. I have a dictionary countries that lists all the countries I'd like to visit and the languages spoken there. I introduce how many countries I want to visit, and I walk through all the elements of my dictionary, stating which country I'd like to visit and which language people speak there. Now, going back to our Smart Bean project, as you can see, dictionaries are much more suitable to store our profits. And we can declare it like this. And to incorporate this in our code, we need to learn a few new things, which we'll do in the next chapter.